Welcome to Motivation Monday, where we bring you challenging conversations and inspiring stories. Today's conversation is indeed a challenging one. Because guess what? This is that week that many love and many hate. Why? Because Saturday is Valentine's Day. Yes, in case you didn't realize, it is this Saturday. And this is one of the week where we have all manner of conversations. Should we celebrate Valentine? Should we not celebrate Valentine? Love is overrated. What is love anyway? Well, today's conversation is just about love. We have named it Something About Love. Is love all we purport it to be? Is love all that anyway? But also, are there dangers that you and I sometimes expose ourselves to when it comes to this area of love? Have people been in pain? Have people lives been destroyed on account of this thing called love? Well, that will be the extent of our conversation for this day. And joining me in this conversation is Ahad Sifa, who is a psychologist, and will be helping us unpack this conversation from a psychologist's perspective. And so let's just get right to it. Welcome, Sifa.
Asante. Thank you so much for having me. And wow, I like that introduction.
Karibu.
Asante sana.
Karibu sana.
I think this is a good conversation to have.
Yes. Before we even go to the nitty-gritties of it, first, please introduce yourself to the audience. Who really is Sifa?
Okay, yeah. So my name is Ahad Sifa. I am a young man. I'm a young man in the field of psychology, and hopefully towards the end of this year, I get to be certified as a marriage and family therapist. And that's a little bit about me in terms of my profession. All right.
Yeah. So, first things first. To celebrate or not to celebrate Valentine's, what's your take?
I will not make a blanket statement.
Yeah.
I think that's really up to the individuals in those spaces, whether you're dating, whether you're married. That's really up to you to decide whether it's something that you celebrate. I have found, however, the people who generally just enjoy celebrating things. So
this is another reason.
This is just another reason to celebrate something. So yes.
All right. Okay. So then let's just dive right into it. This thing called love. Is it really that big of a deal? I mean, this week, I think there'll be a lot of talk about love. But is love such a big deal as we make of it?
Yes. I would say love is not a luxury. It is a human need.
Okay.
So we need to explore what that means in terms of from childhood, from teenagehood into your adulthood. You need love because love brings about emotional connection. And when you get that emotional connection, that's how relationships tend to thrive, not just survive. Right? So you can't survive without love, but then your life experience is
limited.
Yes.
Okay.
And so yes, to answer your question.
So that's an interesting way to phrase it, that it's not a luxury, it's a need. Then what does that mean? And maybe we can track back when we think about the developmental stages of an individual. So what does that mean for a child growing up in a home, for example? What does that whole idea of love being a need mean for a child, for example?
So for a child, that would mean not just provision. Well, material provision is important and that matters. But in a family setup, you do need presence. That's emotional presence.
Yeah.
Feelings need to be allowed. Mistakes need to be allowed.
Feelings need to be allowed in an African home.
That's where we're getting to. That's where we're getting to. Yeah, mistakes need to happen, and repair needs to happen. So it's not just about the rupture that happened. A rupture happens, and then we repair and fix it and move on. So that's love in a broader context, right? In the family setting.
Yeah.
However, as you rightly mentioned, in our African context, that rarely happens, right? That rarely happens. And for many of us who are adults now, we've not experienced that growing up. And so, unfortunately, we've grown up in settings where it's shame-based. So
you bring in good results, you're praised. You bring in not so good results, you're shamed.
exactly. So then what does that teach the child? That love is conditional,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
And if love is conditional, then the child learns, oh, okay, I need to adapt in this environment. And that adaptation then looks like that I need to perform to receive love.
Yeah.
And so now picture, that's the template that child is getting. So when they come to relationships, what happens?
It's a performance.
It's a performance.
Ah.
And so many angles here. So
Yeah.
you can put in social media there and then think about that as well. So it's constant performance. I need to perform. I need to show.
Yeah. Because then if I perform, then I get to receive this thing that is innately a need in me.
Exactly. Exactly. But then somewhere deep down, you feel that, something
shouldn't
just
be like
not
this.
right. Yes. So it shouldn't be like this. But then you are so used to it because you've done it for so long. You've done it for so long that now doing something different would be a shock to your system. But that's where the work is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And so this child then, that has learnt from their natural environment, the family context, that if I want to receive love, then I need to perform. I need to be the best that I can be. Now, this child is developing into teenagehood, for example. What kind of a teenager, do they, in a sense, become based on the kind of environment they've grown in and based on the kind of, emotional makeup, so to speak, that has been developed as a result of that?
Yeah, yeah. Well, they tend to become people pleasers, right? And so it's kind of like, in Swahili we say, bendera ufuata upepo. Yeah?
The flag follows the wind.
Yeah. And so if you think about it, it's like this child now becomes, I'll go with the flow of the crowd. It's almost like they can't stand on their own. Because if I stand by myself, then I lack that connection that I would have gotten. But then I also know somewhere deep down that connection is not truly genuine. And so I end up, we can think of the worst of vices.
Yeah.
Right?
Drugs.
Alcohol. Yeah? And so I end up doing those things. For some, they end up doing those things because they want to fit in. Because once your child gets to about, say, 4 years old, pretty much your job as a parent is, those first few years, you spend a lot of time with them. But at 4, they start going to school.
Yeah, that's true.
So the socialization there for them happens with the peers. And so once they're in high school, then a lot more socialization is happening with their peers. So if they didn't have the background of like, you know what, you're loved at home, you're cared for, you can express yourself freely, obviously within reasonable limits, right? If that child doesn't get that at home, but then gets it at school, and perhaps that crowd they're getting it from is not what the parent would wish for them, then you run into a number of issues. Yeah.
Okay. Let's then look at this whole idea of receiving and giving then.
Right.
Again, we're still, we'll get to adults. We're still journeying with this child. So you've grown up in this home. Not much love, at least according to self, has been given.
Yeah.
It's performative.
Yes.
And so you learn to perform in order to receive love, in order to receive connection. What does that then do to you in terms of you being a giver of love? Because you see here, you're talking at, looking at the child from a recipient perspective.
Yes.
But now what about from a giver perspective? What does that do to this child as they grow?
Well, pretty much because, if the context has been, I need to perform to receive, right? And so essentially what the setup is like in the mind of that child is that I need to give this good grade, I need to give this good behavior or proper behavior. And so they tend to give, right? So in the context of giving, it would be very difficult for them to have, I guess you would put it as boundaries.
Okay.
Right? Especially if they meet someone who's just a take.
Yeah.
Right? So they've learned, they have the background of I give, and then they meet someone who takes.
Yeah.
So then they are caught in that loop of I'll give.
And the person just takes.
And the person, takers just take. By the way, takers will just take.
Ooh.
Truly speaking, they'll,
And this happens at all levels of friendships, whether friendship, all levels of relationships, whether friendship, romantic relationships.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so you find people leave such relationships and say, yeah, that guy was abusive, that chick was abusive, but then really, we would have to look at, and I'm not trying to say put blame on the victim, but we would have to look at how were you interacting with that person that allowed that to happen. So they tend to give because that's what they've learned to do. So then people are not struggling with love. They are loyal to what they learned.
Oof. They are loyal to what they learned.
Yes.
And what they learned is
I need to give.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or the reverse could happen, where it's like, I gave so much and now that didn't change anything. So now I'm not going to give. So I'll just be the one who takes. So now they cling on to any form of
affection, connection.
Shown.
Yes. That's scary, to be honest. That one can be in either extreme, either the extreme of giving without boundaries, or one has burnt their fingers, so to speak, and they choose therefore, to not give at all.
Yeah.
Let's then get into the area of relationships, which, by and large this week, that is what the conversation will be about.
Yes.
So this child is growing. This child is in teenagehood, and at that point, probably, puberty is happening, attractions are forming, and they may or may not get into relationship in their teenagehood, but at some point within their developmental stages, people start getting into relationships.
Yes.
Now, for one, let's deal with this one first, that had an unhealthy, so to speak, kind of background, and then we'll come to one that had a healthy. What does that now look like in terms of, one, how they get into relationships, and two, how they behave in those relationships?
Well, I work a lot with self-esteem or self-esteem issues. So you find, or I've found, that people who've had those unhealthy or unpleasant experiences growing up, there's a part of it which it's about esteem. So then if I get into this relationship, that means I have value. And looking at our culture, there's usually three ways that esteem kind of shows up or plays out, in unhealthy ways, that is. One, it could be performance-based. So I have value because I did well in school, I did well at work, right? And that troubles a lot of us as men.
It's true.
The second one is attribute-based. So I am valuable because I have that car, I have that house.
I look a certain way.
I have this spouse or partner who looks a certain way. And then lastly is the other based. So I have value because you say I have value.
Ooh. Okay.
Right? And so that's where we're at now. So they get into relationships And this is perhaps the most extreme end.
Yeah.
Right? They get into relationships because no one validated them or told them, oh yeah, you know what, you're actually good at what you do. You are this and you are that and you are, right? But then they meet this person who makes them feel certain things, right? And then this person says, oh yeah, you look good. It's like, oh wow, I never had that. I never had that growing up. So that must mean, yeah, if this guy values me, if this chick values me,
This must be the one.
ah, this is the one. Yeah. Because they are giving me something I didn't believe I had. But then they are speaking to that need that should have ideally been met,
you know, like within a family setup.
Within a family setup, with perhaps with a caregiver. I don't want to say parents because, you know, it could be parents, it could be an older sibling, could be a grandparent. Yeah, a caregiver, right? And so they're in that space now, where this person is now fulfilling those needs. Now think of them as the giver now. That they receive that affection when they give. And so it keeps them back in the loop of performing and receiving and then giving and receiving. So they're stuck in that loop because that's how they've learned to be in relationship.
And so does that mean then when they feel the affection is not forthcoming, the emotional connection is not forthcoming, they overcompensate?
Exactly. So they ramp up, because then what that does is that it causes some anxiety in them. It's like, today this guy is different. What's happening? Okay, maybe it's me. I need to, because they've always learned it's me. So I need to do more. I need to do more. So then they do more. They do more. They do more. And perhaps now the person responds to that, and then it's like, oh, okay, here's your here is your compliment. Here is your right.
Here is your I love you.
Yes, here it is. So then it creates that cycle for them. It conditions them to be like, okay, so I will only receive the I love you. I will only receive the compliment. I will only receive the emotional care and affection when I am X, Y, Z. So if I am not that, then I won't get this. But because this means so much to me, I have a need for that, then I absolutely have to be this. So then what happens is that they are not really interacting from a point of, this is who I am, but it's more of, I will show you that this is who I am. So it's an image.
That is portrayed.
Yes.
For the sake of the need.
Yes, to just maintain the connection.
Is that why people stay in abusive relationships for the length of time that they do?
Yes, but I will also say this. With abusive relationships, what tends to happen is that with abuse, your self-esteem is eroded, right? And so if you stay for a very long time, you get to a point where you don't believe that you can do better.
Okay.
Right? Or you don't believe that you deserve better, or that you can receive better. And so you end up staying. You end up staying because, you just don't have the confidence to be like, you know what? I can pick up my things today and leave. Right? Because that has been eroded over time. Over time. And what happens there is that it's almost like an identity being instilled, because if I'm constantly telling you you are XYZ for 10 years, it gets to a point where you're like,
you start believing
maybe I am.
You are formed and shaped by those words.
Exactly. You're formed and shaped by the words. You're formed and shaped by the behaviors, by how they respond to you.
Wow.
So yes, it sounds scary, but it is scary.
And by the way, I must mention, just by way of passing, that this is interesting that two men are having a conversation about love. Just as an aside. But now let's look at the flip side. Now this is a child that does not, in a sense, have that kind of, and I put that in quotes, that kind of baggage, maybe grew up, in a setup where they experienced love, it was not performance-based. Now, how does that look like for that child that has actually received love unconditionally? How does that look like for them as they grow?
Yeah, they learn, they have a better footing, and they learn how the world works in better.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the one who had the unpleasant experiences, they basically interact with the world from a point of fear. Because I need to survive.
Yeah.
I need to place myself in situations where my survival is not threatened. But on the flip side, the child who had pleasant, healthier experiences tends to show up more confidently in the world, is able to distinguish between this person hurt me. It doesn't mean that they are a bad person. They just hurt me, or that was a tough experience. I can heal from that. I can move from that. But with the one who had the unpleasant experiences, those tough experiences almost like crushed them or crumbled them, right? But with the child who had healthy experience, they're more resilient.
Yeah.
So then they show up in relationships willing to offer, willing to give in a healthy way, willing to take risks. Like, okay, yeah, this thing is tough, but I'm just gonna go for it, right? Whether that's a work situation, whether it's a school situation, whether it's now in the context of relationship, they're willing to take risks because their interaction with the world has been, you have a safety net.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You have a safety net. There's relationships that you can rely on. There's community that you can rely on. So even when you are having a tough time, you are not alone. And that's the biggest difference with them. They believe that they are not alone in the world. And so they are willing to show up confidently and offer truly what they have. Because they know, should that not work, it doesn't mean that I failed.
So, I like it.
Yes.
So, failure in whatever thing, for somebody that had a good, healthy, upbringing, so to speak, full of love, is not, interpreted as personal failure.
Yes.
So they don't look inward.
Yes.
They're just like, okay, I was unable to do this.
Yes.
But it does not mean I am a failure.
Exactly.
I failed, but I'm not a failure.
Exactly. Very good. So that's the difference.
Okay.
So that's it. Because when you say I am a failure, that's an identity you're making. That's shame. Communicating. Because if I am a failure, oh gosh, I need to hide. If you think of a physical representation of shame, it's like, you can't see me, I need to hide my face, I need to. Right.
Yeah.
So the difference, there's that huge difference in terms of how they process tough times. Yes.
Wow. And maybe just before we take a pause, is this perhaps why then, there's a clamor for some people for relationship? When you consider people who are, say, serial daters, is there something that is trying, that they're trying to fulfill inside of them, and so that, this relationship just ended, and before you know it, they're in another one, before you know it, they're in another one. Does that perhaps communicate something that speaks into perhaps their setup growing up?
Perhaps. Perhaps. I wouldn't say
with certainty.
But if I had the person before me, then we would speak and I would be able to say, this is what it is. But I wouldn't just put a blanket statement over it. Right? But yes, it is possible that it is an indicator of something that didn't go right. Right. And so, as you said, they're trying to find something, or they're trying to fulfill something, fulfill a need in that. And it's really about what is it about being alone that scares you? Yeah, so that's where the question is.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Because why is it that this just ended today and tomorrow you're in another one.
Yeah.
Or a few hours later you're in another one. What's happening there?
What are you trying to compensate for?
Exactly. What's happening there? Why are you so afraid? Because what does it mean for you to be alone? Does it mean you're not worthy?
Okay.
So, and I share this based on some of the sessions I've had with people. Yeah, I've had people who've had such experiences, or I've worked with people who've had such experiences.
Yeah.
And usually it's, oh gosh, if I'm not in relationship, I'm not enough.
Okay.
If I'm not in a relationship, I'm not worthy. I'm just some other human being out there. Right? So there's a value they've attached to relationships, which is okay. There's value to relationships.
Yeah.
But then the trouble is, where are you? Where is the individual?
Even in that.
Even in that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, no, I can't be alone. I have to be. I have to be with.
Yeah. Wow. I think this is quite important, because in my head I am thinking, if only, with the many questions that are going through people's minds, and this week, unfortunately sometimes evokes certain unpleasant feelings. And I just hope that, by the time we come to the end of our conversation, somebody will be able to begin their path of healing. But I want us to take a pause, take a break, and then we can continue with this conversation. We're talking about something about love. This is the Love Week. Saturday is coming. Yes, it's Valentine's Day, and I don't know where you sit on that conversation, but love is something that we can still talk about. We are looking at the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to this question of love, and I hope that there is something that is a take-home for you. And so do share with us, what are some of the things that you're picking? What are some of the things that you're hearing? You're like, that is interesting. Love is a safety net. Did you know that? Now you know, for example. Please do share with us. 0786 316 316 is our WhatsApp line. For now, I want us to take a break, and then when we come back on the other side of this conversation, now we go into actually how this translates even deeper into our significant relationships. See you after this break.
Marriage is a beautiful, beautiful space to be in, but I can tell you for a fact, it takes a lot of grace, it takes a lot of intentionality, it takes God to just submit yourself, submit who you are, submit what you want to Him. Because with my experience, for now, this is our 12th year of marriage, but I can tell you in our first year of marriage, life was turbulent for me, because I got there with this idea of, first of all, what would you not tell me that I don't know? Because I know everything. I know what I want. I've grown up with in a stable family, so I get all these things. And then you get into a space of marriage and you realize that, wow, it's not really about what you know, but it's more of what you surrendered, and what you surrender constantly, each and every day. And it's not about your ego. It's not about what I want. It's about who I want God to be in this particular relationship. And I can tell you, by the way, it was very hard for me. So marriages, they face challenges. Challenges will be there. There was a time where after that, I'm facing miscarriages, and it's not just one, it's not two, it's three, it's four. And I was asking the Lord, now again, here I am from a turbulent space. Now we are having kids, we are not able to sustain pregnancies just because of this. What exactly are you teaching me? And it was at that point where I just let go and let God to just have His way. And I just surrendered. If you want to grow in who you are, then marriage is that space where it will force you to grow and come out of your skin and just live out the purpose that God wants you to have in that place where He wants you to be. So I'm encouraging every couple out there. If you're a lady who is in my space, who is currently in the space that I was in that time, surrender it to God. Let it be. Submit to that leadership that God has given you. Submission is not being a doormat. Submission is a space where God knows that in your soft power, you're able to be that atmosphere that causes change in your home. And that is what God calls us to be as women. God is not calling us to be these antagonistic women in our marriages. No, God is calling us to channel our femininity in a way that amplifies who God is, in a way that amplifies the masculinity that God has placed in our marriages, in a way that in our husbands, in a way that God amplifies who our children want to, who our children we want to bring them out to be. So I call on to each and every woman out there, if you are in that space that I was in, just submit unto the Lord and live and put your shoes right. You don't need to fight your hubby. You don't need to cause or force change in him, but you can be a catalyst of change in that marriage that God wants you to have. And God bless you.
Welcome back. This is Motivation Monday, where we bring you challenging conversations and inspiring stories. And today, the story we are talking about and the conversation we are having is something about love. Yes, this is a week. We can't miss an opportunity to talk about love. And it even gets interesting. There are two men here talking about love. It doesn't get better than that. My name is Elijah Mukaya, your host, and I'm joined today by Ahad Sifa, who is a psychologist helping us unpack this conversation. Before we get to this conversation, maybe you've been wondering, how can I love, these people at Family Media? How can I love Jesus even better? Well, do you know what? We are able to do this by virtue of partnership with men and women like yourself. We continue keeping Jesus on the airwaves because of financial donations of men and women like yourself. And so feel free to donate to become one of our partners. Use our pay bill number 316, and for account, just write your phone number. Okay? Show us some love. Show Jesus some love. Please do. Let's get right to it. Welcome back, Sifa.
Thank you.
All right. So now, again, we're still on this conversation, about love. And maybe for now, what I am thinking is, I am a father of, I have a wide range in terms of my children. So I have a 20-year-old son, okay, and I have two little girls. As somebody that desires that my children will not unnecessarily suffer, these negative consequences of them not having, this safety net that you talked about. What would you advise somebody like me or somebody at home watching this and they're thinking, wow, you mean this thing is as serious as this?
Yeah.
What would you advise?
Yeah. One, I don't know whether this will be a good message or something that will scare you.
Yeah.
I think one, it's recognizing that it's not about perfection. It's just about the relationship and connection.
Yes.
So with that, there's knowing that you are going to harm your child. And I don't mean harm like you are intentionally harming them.
Yeah.
Right? There's just a way you might interact with them where for them, they might perceive it as, that was not very nice. And that's not a problem. All of us who hope to have children one day and who have children right now, there are things that you might do for the benefit of them, but in their mind, they might not feel that way, right? That's okay. Now, the important bit is that you are able to have conversations around that, around whatever it may be, right? So my advice would be that you get to spend time with your kids, and research states this, you just only need about 30% of time with your children for them to feel, okay, this is all right, this is safe. Just 30%. So if you have 24 hours in a day, 30% is about what, I don't know.
50% will be 12 hours. So 30% will probably be around 6 to 7 hours.
Yeah. And so the 6 hours, right, in a day, and perhaps it's not a block 6 hours. It could be 30 minutes here, 20 minutes there, right? So as it compounds like that, then you get to interact with your children and they know, oh yeah, I can come to dad and be like, yeah, this is... yes.
Okay.
So it's just about, being intentional about spending time with your kids. But I also want to acknowledge that it's tough, right? It's tough. Looking at the current economic situation, it forces parents to be out of the home longer than they would like to be, right? And this is not, even as I said that, I'm not saying that parents who are not showing up in that way, that they are not doing the best for their kids. I do acknowledge that things are tough. And that's unfortunately, the normal of our society, right? Where it's parents are outside really working hard for their children, and by the time they're home, kids are asleep. By the time they're leaving, kids are still asleep. So it is tough. It is tough. But if you are able to kind of squeeze in time, right? Whether it's, oh yeah, today I'm going to drop off the kids at school, or when the weekend comes, we are going to do something, whatever it may be.
Okay. I think it's very freeing, that bit you've mentioned about, do not aim for perfection.
Yes.
I think that is very freeing, because then one may walk, with this incessant fear that, I may hurt my child, and in the process you even fail to do that which you ought to do. All right, now I want us to then now start getting into this space that defines this week. This week, yes, is a week of love, but it's a week of a specific kind of love. When we consider this whole idea of romantic love from a psychologist's perspective, just share with us, broadly speaking, what that is to a human being, and what the lack of that does, what the misuse of that does, what the abuse of that does, or where the healthy expression of that does. So let's get now into the, so to speak, the topic of the week.
Wow, that's a broad question. So one, I will, we've explored the context, which I think was really good in terms of the early background and stuff. So that should then kind of inform you that we don't get into relationships, especially adult romantic relationships. We don't come in just a blank slate. No, I am here. Let's do this. Right? We have stuff that we come in with. That could be both pleasant and unpleasant things that we've picked up from our upbringing. But then the only place where those wounds show up, those childhood wounds show up, is in that close relationship. So it's, in my opinion, it's actually, aside from, I don't know, maybe perhaps family relationships, it's one of the other closest relationships that a human being will ever experience. Right? Because you are literally with this person, intimate, unafraid, vulnerable, just the same way you are with your caregivers. Right? And so in adult relationships, romantic relationships, some of those wounds will show up. So then you're arguing, and then you sit down and you are like, where did that come from, right? And when you look back, you reflect back, you're like, oh yeah, it's because, I don't know, my mom did this, my dad did that, or they said this, they said that. And then when my partner did this, it reminded me of that.
So you're interpreting through those lenses now.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so I think there's nothing wrong with that. It just makes you alive to, there's some things that maybe you need to solve and deal with. And I believe, in my opinion, is that wounding happens in relationships, but healing also happens in relationships. Yes.
I like that.
Yes. And so you have your wife, you have your partner that perhaps you're dating. And when you get into arguments or disagreements, it's an opportunity to get curious and an opportunity to learn for the both of you to be like, okay, is this just us, or is there more that's informing this? And perhaps sometimes it's not that all the time it's going to be a family history. Sometimes it's just the two of you, right? But I think maybe let me start it off at that point.
Yeah.
Right? So such relationships will bring out those fears, those wounds, which is a good thing because then that shows you that that relationship is safe.
Okay.
Yes. Because if you're not able to bring out your fears in a relationship, then there's an aspect of safety that you're not experiencing there. And emotional safety.
Yeah. I like, that. So then if I'm hearing you right, one of the ways in which one can check, especially, in dating relationship before you commit for marriage, whether, there's safety in that relationship is your ability to be able to express certain things. And so if I have certain fears, do I feel I have the liberties, to express them? Or do I feel, this might be a bit difficult?
Yes. But I'll also say to that is sometimes you might have the difficulty of expressing, but that may have nothing to do with your partner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might just be a struggle that you're going through.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's also good to distinguish. Is it
a me thing?
Yes.
Or is it a relationship thing?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So now we are in this relationship. I want us to tackle, say, people dating, thinking of marriage, and then we get to marriage.
Okay.
So how should those in dating relationships, how are they meant to view this whole idea? And I have in mind especially those that aspire for godly values.
Yes.
I am aware there are those that are listening to us and those that are watching us, but it is really difficult to have just a broad conversation. And so zeroing into especially those that seek to honor God and those that seek to live Christian values.
Yes.
How should we then be in these relationships? Not just thinking of ourselves as victims, but also I am also in a relationship with somebody else. So how does that look? How does that dance look like in terms of me loving this person and this person loving me? What is within the realm of healthy? What is within the realm of unhealthy? And how can one, safeguard, in that sense?
Yeah, I think, let me start with the safeguard. I would say, I think faith communities are really amazing because they offer, community and support, right? And so I would say, even when you are dating, right, and you are aspiring to godly values, Christian marriage, godly marriage, it is prudent to have support around you. So support of your peers and support of the older, mature in marriage and in their Christian faith. Yeah. Right. So that already kind of sets you up in a good position, right? So you're able to go. I'm able to come to you and say, "Hey, listen, me, I'm having trouble with so and so," and then you're like, okay,
there's nothing there.
Yeah, that's a small thing, right? That's negligible. You don't need to focus too much on that. Handle it this way, handle it. So there's wisdom that gets passed down, right? So that's one. And then through that wisdom being passed down, there's also the wisdom of, okay, how do you relate in a way that's healthy or in a way that's godly for us in this context? So then, as what is it? Paul in Titus writes, right? The older men, younger men,
older women, younger women,
right? So there's a lot of wisdom being passed down there, and I think that for me is a huge one. I really got to experience the benefit of this, perhaps last year, and because I actually allowed myself to plug into it more. So there's also that aspect. So you need to also, if you are dating, you need to also allow yourself to plug into it more. Yeah. Right? And when I say into it more, I mean the community. Yeah. Right?
So allow the community access into your life.
Exactly. Exactly. obviously within reasonable
boundaries.
Reasonable boundaries. So I got to experience the benefit of that because I was like, okay, let me try this thing. Let me see. Let me see what happens if I take a chance and go that route. So for the people dating, allow yourself to have people speak into your life. Right? Because that's the only way you'll get the benefit of experiencing the wisdom being passed down, of being challenged, of being empathized with. Right? Because if you don't, then you're not really, if I don't come to you, you're not really going to know.
That's true.
And I won't really know what it would be like to come and share whatever it may be with you. Right? So there's an aspect of, I guess, I don't know if I'll call it risk-taking, but allowing yourself to be vulnerable in that space. Because then you get the benefit of those things.
Okay. All right. But then now, in terms of the other things, what would be your advice? You know, I'm in this relationship. I'm not just here to take. I'm also here to give. So how does that look like, you know, in a healthy setup? So then I would say it's reciprocal, right? So you're both there to serve each other. And I think I would hope that that's the mindset you're coming with, right? That I'm here to serve you and you're here to serve me, and that will be for the benefit of the relationship. So then, even as you are giving or as you are receiving, you're like, okay, am I doing all the work, quote unquote, right? So I would say in a healthy context, it would be that you get to experience the benefit of sometimes being served and sometimes being the one that's serving, right? Now that dynamic, what might it look like? Let me think of one. Might it look like, for example, you know, on a light note, my wife taking me on a date this Valentine's. Hey, I know she's watching. Please put in a good word for me.
I think here's what I'll say. For Valentine's, I will say this. You've put me on the spot.
To each their own.
Yes. but it might look like that. Truly, it might. She might decide, you know what, you do this for me, or perhaps more frequently, let me do this for you this once, right? Whatever your dynamic might be. Or it might be, okay, let's do something for each other. So we'll do something that you like, and then we'll also do something that you like, or that you've been wanting to do. Right? So you get to treat each other, and then you enjoy it, and things go on.
Okay. So in other words, it's not just one-sided. You know. All right. You mentioned in your early introduction that God willing, by the end of the year, you'll be a certified family and marriage therapist.
Yes.
So in that whole area of marriage, just speak into that. And really, I want to allow you as much freedom, just based on your own, you know, learnings and experience, to speak into that. Again, because this is the week that, you know, much comes to the fore. Some pleasant, but unfortunately, some not so pleasant. So please speak then into that space.
One, I think marriage is a good thing. I think you get a lot of benefits, in my opinion. I think you get the benefit. One of the major ones, I think, is companionship, right? And if you really think about it, you know, you get married, you have kids. Once they grow up, they leave. Now it's just the two of you.
It's true.
So then the two of you just do life together, and I think there's a beauty in that. Now, obviously, when it comes to, you know, marriage, there's a wide range here considering this week. It's good to acknowledge that there are those who might be going through a tough season in their marriage. There are those who may be experiencing losses, whether it's the loss of a child or the loss of a spouse, right? And
Even the loss of a job.
or even, yes.
Yeah.
So it could be, major transitions in life,
Yeah.
right? Losses, job, family member, partner,
Yeah.
child, whatever it may be. But then on the other hand, there's also those who are experiencing joys, right?
True.
So they're also having a transition. It could be we are welcoming a new child into the family. It could be we're celebrating someone getting a new job, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
For the ones who are experiencing the joys, I think it's, take it, enjoy it, enjoy it. However, on the other end, where it's a tough season or an unpleasant season, it is good to find meaning in that tough season or that unpleasant season. Really interesting enough, I have personal story. I struggled to really read the book of Job when it comes to suffering. That's a
Yeah.
book I have really struggled with. So I'm kind of trying to dig more into that.
Yeah.
What does it mean, the aspect of suffering, right? And in the secular world, at least how I've seen it, is that suffering is not meant to be experienced, so you have to get rid of it and you move on. So whatever thing is there that's making me suffer, it's this person, hey, I'll cut you off.
Yeah.
In 2026 we're not interacting. But then I think it's a limited view,
Yeah.
because then it doesn't allow you to explore what the meaning of that is.
Yeah.
Right. And so for those who are in that season, I would say lean on community, lean on those you trust, those who are around you, those you love, those who love you, who love on you.
Yeah.
Lean on those guys. Go through that period with them. I recently worked with a client clients who had lost a child. And one of the things they said, which I found really interesting, was the community aspect.
Yeah.
Because as soon as the news came in that they had lost a child, their community really rallied around
Wow.
them. People actually moved from cities to come and live to where they were.
What?
People moved and rented out spaces or houses close to where they were. They sorted out the funeral arrangements. They made sure these guys had meals. And so that community aspect is huge in that space. Especially when it's during those unpleasant seasons and tough times. Because we have this tendency of, if I'm going through a tough time, I can't let you know. I need to be
I
alone.
recoil.
I withdraw. I need to figure that out. And well, truthfully speaking, that happens a lot with us as men.
Yeah.
But then when we do that, we don't get the benefit of, I can speak it out and you can give me some sane wisdom and advice. So in that season of marriage, I would say, lean on community if it's a tough time.
Yeah.
Lean on, really take advantage of that, because those are the people that are really going to hold you in that season. For those who are experiencing the joys, take them pleasantly and enjoy. There's nothing wrong with enjoying the season you're in, I think. And sometimes I find that people feel guilty for enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, this life is not just suffering.
There are joys.
There are joys.
Yeah.
There are joys. So enjoy once it's there. Enjoy. And perhaps you might even find people struggling more if someone maybe close to them is going through an unpleasant transition.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I can't seem to be like I'm enjoying myself when they are going through. And I don't think that's the case. I think two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
You can be there and show support, but you can also still live your life and enjoy.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. And so I would put it like that. Perhaps there are those who are going through unpleasant transitions or tough times in marriages, and there are those who are in pleasant seasons in their marriages. So
Yeah.
that's life.
Yeah. Okay, I like that that balance, that there is a reality here that the people that we are speaking to are in different categories, and so encouraging in a sense both groups. We are almost coming to the end of this conversation, and so I just want to give you an opportunity, something about love that we're talking about today. Just then give us your parting shots, whatever it is that that is in your mind, in your heart, that you would like to share with us as far as this whole idea of love is concerned.
Yeah. I would say love is not built on occasions, right? So even I know we are in the week of Valentine's and it's coming up, and that's an occasion. Love is not built in occasions, right? Or solely on occasions.
Yeah.
Occasions are good to perhaps go the extra mile, right? But that's not the only point where love is built.
Yeah.
Love is built in moments, right? Moments of joy, moments of pain, moments of pleasure, moments of unpleasantness. Those moments, that's where love is built.
Yeah.
Love is built in support. Love is built in learning how to be relationally mature.
Yeah.
Meaning, we can stay connected even when it's uncomfortable. Right? That's relational maturity. Because if not, then that would mean that anytime there's conflict, that there's a disconnection. That's not enjoyable.
Yeah.
Right? So love is built in learning to apologize without being defensive. Right?
I am sorry, but.
Yeah. Learning to, this is a tough one for many people.
Yeah.
Learning to stay present without withdrawing, especially in those moments of discomfort.
Yeah, that's tough.
There's I need space, and there's withdrawing.
Yes.
So it is okay to be like, okay, let's take time out.
Yes.
Time out.
Yes.
I need give me 10 minutes, or give me an hour, give me 2 hours. That's okay.
Yeah.
And then come back to the conversation when you are.
Yeah, but don't withdraw.
But don't withdraw, because when you withdraw, what does that do? Especially for when men withdraw, what does that do to their partners? Right? Because then she then starts questioning, oh, is it me? So then she feels insecure.
Yeah.
Right?
But touches on something about their worth.
Exactly. Right. So then it's worth communicating for both partners, I would say.
Yeah.
Worth communicating, like, okay, yeah, this issue is important, we need to discuss it. Could you just give me a few minutes to collect myself?
Yeah.
Right. So that's where, in such moments, that's where love is built. Right. And it's a beautiful thing, in my opinion. It's a beautiful thing. It is also where you are challenged to grow.
Yeah.
So those would be my different
all right.
thoughts.
I think I want to end it out. It's a beautiful thing. Love is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I think with everything that has been happening around us, it's so easy to lose sight of that.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ahad Sifa. This has been a joy again. Interesting conversation. 2 men talking about love, but love is a beautiful thing.
It is.
Who said men can't talk about beautiful things?
Of course.
So thank you. Thank you so much.
Asante.
Asante sana.
Right.
Enjoy love.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. Well, we have come to the end of our conversation for today. Something about love. That was our conversation. An important conversation for this week of love. But something that I have learned, and I hope you've learned too. Love is not built on occasions. And so I hope beyond this week that we'll still purpose to be people that walk in love. Shall we? All right. Before I go, kindly let me remind you once again that we are able to bring programs like this and the many programs that we have here on Family Media on account of partnership with men and women like yourself. So let me invite you to consider being one of our partners. Feel free, if you want to join the many that come alongside us, send a message to our WhatsApp line with the word partner, 0786 316 316. Somebody will get back to you and guide you on the process. But if you like to donate right now, feel free to do that through M-Pesa pay bill number 316 316, and for account just write your phone number. May the Lord bless you, and may the Lord cause you to indeed come to the conclusion that love is a beautiful thing. See you next week.